Me, 35M, with my girlfriend, 28F, for 3 months. Slept with my best friend, also 35M. On Thursday night, we went out to a local bar and got very intoxicated there. After we returned from the casino, they had the restroom with us. She returned to me the next day sobbing and said she had confessed to everything, according to her account. Despite my repeated requests, my buddy has refused to acknowledge anything, and I haven't seen him since. From the beginning, we both agreed that no matter what we did, we would always be honest and give the other person the option of staying or quitting the relationship. Without her seeking my best friend in the toilet while I was there, I wouldn't have bothered to disturb her. Despite the fact that she continually reminding me of how screwed up we all were, she insists on staying with me to sort things out. I appreciate her candor, and I'm hoping that we will be able to come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. So, here's the situation. Since then, I haven't been physically able to have intercourse with her due to my physical limitations. I want to kiss her every time she initiates, but all I can think of is her being nailed in the restroom of a casino when she doesn't want to. This is a problem that I had no idea would occur when I decided to stay with her, and I'm concerned it will not go away on its own. This has already happened twice, and it is undeniably a significant problem. By the way, our life had been absolutely amazing up until this moment. I discovered an ex-girlfriend cheating earlier in the week, and I hadn't had this problem in previous years. This time, though, my current girlfriend came clean and confessed to me. I was aware of how intoxicated we were all, but this time it hurt more. Has anybody else experienced anything similar, and what was the outcome? Can I say that my marriage is over, despite the fact that both of us desire to work things out in the future? At times it seems as like I'm clinging to her, because I thought I loved her, yet here I am at 4 a.m., begging for assistance on Reddit. It goes without saying that no one knows what I need or want to do better than I do, but I am open to hearing any recommendations. Greetings, and thank you for taking the time to read this. Please take my advice as it is given in advance. Story 2. My ex cheated on me and the guy didn't know, so I tried to tell him and provide evidence. He didn't take it well. Trigger warning. Attempted murder, child endangerment, cheating. Something terrible happened, and I don't want to trigger anyone, but I still feel it is important to talk about. I was 25 years old at the time of the incident and am now 27 years old. She was 23 years old, and the guy with whom she was having relations was 30 years old. It wasn't until later that I found out she was 6-7 months pregnant. It was years later that I finally got in touch with her after meeting her in college when we were both much younger than we are now. I wanted to reconnect with her when I met her again, to reignite the connection we had previously had. I took her to her favorite restaurant, which she enjoyed. We drank margaritas and I accompanied her to a clothing store since she was already a single mom fighting to make ends meet. I spent a total of around $200 on her that day. I also provided babysitting services for her since she had said that she needed to go to work. She returned a few days later, and someone looked after her children while she claimed to be ill. We took it easy and stayed around for a few hours till I picked her up and drove her home. After seeing this man's social media post about her, I decided to do the right thing and question if they were dating. It turned out that they were in fact dating at the time. After much consideration, I decided to inform him of what she was doing to both of us in the hopes that he would make the best decision possible and avoid being forced to be with someone like her given what she was up to. He didn't believe me even after I showed him screenshots of her sending nudes to me and transcripts of our conversations about setting up dates with each other. He was becoming more demanding with me, so I stopped him and her from communicating with me and moved on. This occurred in the 2016-17 school year. I was intrigued as to what she had been up to the day before, so I looked her up on Google since I no longer had access to Facebook. I came upon 3 different local news articles that had been published at the same time. Her boyfriend had gone to her house and beaten and choked her immediately after I had spoken to him and prevented them both from communicating with one another. It was necessary to do CPR in order to revive her. His punishment ranged from 10 to 30 years in state jail for his crimes. The second piece said that she had been arrested, and her image was appalling. She had missing teeth, so I believed she had been under the influence of narcotics. She was found guilty of felony child endangerment on both counts, and she was sentenced to prison. After struggling to keep the utilities turned on and failing to get any babysitters, she preheated the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit and opened it to use as a heat source before leaving for work the next morning. Her whereabouts were discovered after her neighbors overheard her 4-year-old daughter screaming and pounding on the door. I'm not going to lie, I have a strong sense that I bear some of the responsibility. In retrospect, I should have avoided contacting her other partner and instead should have let nature take its course. I've learned that if I find out that my significant other is cheating, I will never tell anybody about the situation. I'll only leave or speak with the person who has been identified as my significant other. When I found out about this, I was shocked, outraged, and devastated. I hope she took something away from this experience and uses it to make positive changes in her life. Story 3. Not sure if my GF is cheating, but if how should I handle it? So my 20M girlfriend, 22F, has been behaving strangely recently. And since our relationship is semi-distance, I'm simply bewildered and don't know how to feel or what to do. For some context, I met her at work, and when we first met, poverty was a huge source of worry for both of us. In addition to the fact that we both live in crowded houses with our parents, both of us are college students and none of us has access to a car. As a result, I had to arrange transportation for us or my sisters so that we could go on dates or meet her anywhere she wanted. She was a little clingy, but that wasn't the problem. It was her friends that were the problem. Due to her experience being bullied at school for being a nerdy, she prefers to associate with other ladies who are also struggling with their self-esteem. They're all quite overweight and dirty on the inside and outside, in contrast to my partner, who is in good shape. They undoubtedly loathe me because I'm just a regular person with a job and a college degree, which they found boring. As a result, they continue to try to tear us apart by accusing me of having an affair with her. I have a large number of female contacts, the most of whom are attractive. Consequently, if they saw me conversing with them, they would run back and accuse me of cheating, even though we were only discussing school or anything else. The most of the time, these are the kind of females that say things like, "She doesn't need the services of Ma N. Greetings, my name is Ma N." I ended up breaking up with her at a very stressful point in college because she bombarded my phone for the third time with infidelity, claims from her friends, and I didn't have time for drama at the time. Throughout the semester, she would invite me to return on a regular basis. She even asked me to be her late Valentine on Valentine's Day, which I agreed to since she seemed to be in a bad mood. Although she said that she would bring me chocolates and a teddy bear, later in the day, her huge friends were giving me the stink eye. So let's just say that I did not get that gift. I had told her that I would welcome her return a few months ago, but circumstances have changed. Her friends convinced her to change her major, and they also pushed her to begin drinking on a regular basis. She never drank when we were together. She showed up to work half-drunk, however, and did nothing except look out the window, obviously. She no longer responds to text messages, and she no longer sends me nudes, wishes me a good morning, or joins me in video games. Although I tried to approach her directly and ask if she wanted to tell me something, such as that she no longer wanted me or that she was seeing someone else, and that she could talk to me at any time, I wouldn't be mad if she did. She insisted everything was fine and that she was simply swamped despite the fact that I could text her. And she would not respond, but she would post a photo on Instagram 30 minutes later. In the last several weeks, I haven't seen her at work due to my illness, coronavirus. Since of this, I can't take her out or visit her because the office is closed. This, along with her behavior, has led me to suspect that her friends pushed her to cheat on me or that she just isn't interested in me anymore and isn't willing to acknowledge it. Despite the fact that I do not own a house or a car, I believe it is my job to make the most of my situation. Do you think she's attempting to deceive you? Is that the case, and what should I do as a result?